Hi, my name is Terry Whitfield. I am a graduate student with Michigan State University, and this video is a project for my youth and technology class. And today I'm going to talk about a risk factor that has affected the lives of young people throughout centuries, and that is that of sexual behavior and sexual expression. I say throughout the ages because even going back to the time of the beginnings of the Bible, where the Ten Commandments and thou shalt not commit adultery. Well, when you think about it, at that time, young people, human beings, were being married at the ages of 14 and 15. So why would you want somebody engaging in premarital sex at the ages of 12 and 13? So, but when you think about when we think about how our responses to a young person's natural curiosity to sex has evolved over time, I believe that our societies is at a crossroads, going from a perspective of abstinence being the best way possible to a message of, being safe and understanding the risk factors that come with engaging in sexual behaviors before you're ready or at a young age. I know for myself, I remember a story of a story myself at 15, and my father coming into the house giving me a very vitriolic explanation of what he didn't want to see in his house. And that was me with a child at the age of 15, 16. And even at that point, I had a girlfriend, but we weren't engaging in any sexual activity, not on purpose, but just because somebody was always at her house or somebody was always at my house. So the opportunities never really presented themselves. But because of my father, being a man of, very low, even-keeled nature, for him to be so upset about the concept of me having a baby at that point, it was something that at that age, I made a conscious decision that I did not want to have a child between the ages of 16 and 24. But that did not mean that I did not engage or did not want to engage in sexual activity. It just meant that if I was going to engage in those behaviors, that I was going to be safe. And I came across many people, many situations, many circumstances of individuals my age who had babies because after the first time they had sex, because they weren't safe, they didn't use protection. And even now in my work with young people, it's always about the ability to make the smart choice, understanding what your role is and what your goal is in life, and where do your choices lend you and leave you, especially when it comes to the repercussions of those discussions. One of the main issues that we might find, and especially plaguing communities of poverty, is the lack of emotional connections that young people might have to their parents or to other adults. So they view the birth of their child, the birth of a baby, the prospect of having someone to love, having a being to love, as being a way for them to gain out of life what they've always missed. So whenever we're engaging in discussions with young people, it's always about what's the end goal in mind. If your goal is to have a child, what type of life have you experienced as a young adult? And, what do you see your role being as a parent? If it's to make things better for your child than it was for yourself, what situations and circumstances are you putting yourself in to create a better life? So I think technology is really neutral in this respect. There are ways in which TV promotes sexual exploration and sexual activities, but there are also ways under which, a lot of the smart campaigns, TV commercials, where they're promoting not even so much abstinence, but also just making smart choices in life. So I see technology being a neutral space. I see the need for more positive adults who are versed in, the techniques of communication and relationship building with young people as being a need, and really being able to engage in honest and open conversations with young people as it pertains to not just the choice of whether or not to have sex, but how do they engage in healthy choices if that is the case that they're choosing to make. Thank you very much. Have a great day.